Have you ever seen someone with money, but still living like they're broke, wearing the same mindset as before, silently sabotaging themselves, and calling it being cautious? Their bank account may have grown, but their mind is still stuck in survival mode. You know what that is. It's the ghost of scarcity still living inside. It's the poor version of yourself, commanding the rich one you're trying to become. And I'm not here to please you. I'm the invisible wolf of wealth. I walk with those who are ready to flip the game from the inside out. Today, you're going to understand why stopping the poor mindset, even when you have money, is easier than it looks. And if you listen until the end, you'll realize the problem was never about not having money. It was about having too much fear disguised as prudence. And that, my friend, is a mental prison that needs to be broken now. Come with me. Before you change your life, you must identify the real enemy, the hidden mindset of scarcity. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It doesn't stop you from earning, it stops you from growing with what you earn. It works like this: you start making more, but still think, I better not spend on that right now. You avoid investing in something that could elevate you, because what if it doesn't work? You buy the cheapest option thinking you're saving money, but deep down you're saying, I still think I could lose everything. That's the virus. An old operating system installed when you could barely afford food, and it's still running, even with money in your account. You look at your balance and smile, but you're still afraid to use it. You have money, but don't feel wealthy. Why? Because your money changed, but the character you're playing hasn't. And as long as that character runs the show, you'll keep sabotaging your own progress. Identifying this pattern is the first cut to the root of the problem. If you think you're being cautious, when in truth you're acting out of fear, you're not managing your finances. You're being controlled by a poor version of yourself, one that still lives in your mind. And today, you start evicting that tenant. Now that you've spotted the virus, it's time for the bold move. Break the character that keeps you trapped in your past. Your income changed, but your mental script hasn't. You know the biggest mistake: believing that thinking small is humility. It's not. Thinking small is self-sabotage dressed as virtue. The ex-poor character is afraid of looking arrogant, so they hide their achievements. They avoid taking a stand, avoid investing in themselves, avoid growing fast, because deep inside, there's still a belief: if I rise too much, they'll knock me down. That character is subtle. It shows up when you feel guilty for prospering, when you sabotage yourself with thoughts like, I don't really need that. Maybe I'm overdoing it. What if it all goes wrong? But here's the thing, nothing has changed. You're still wearing the collar of scarcity, just with a more expensive suit. And the worst part, that character will try to convince you it's protecting you, but it's only keeping you small, invisible, limited. Today, you must make a definitive choice. Either keep protecting your old self, or start living like someone who finally understood their value. Breaking the character isn't arrogance, it's liberation. And freedom is the first form of wealth no one can ever take from you. Now that you've broken the old character, it's time to install a new mental code. It's not about looking rich. It's about thinking like someone who already feels wealthy inside, even when there's no proof outside. Big thinkers don't wait for money to show up to take action. They move as if it's inevitable. The poor mind focuses on discounts. The invisible rich mind focuses on returns. The poor asks, how much does it cost? The rich asks, how much will this make me? One buys cheap out of fear. The other invests wisely with awareness. You need to reprogram your mind to stop counting coins and start counting possibilities. This isn't about spending more. It's about breaking the emotional logic of scarcity. Those who think like the rich don't buy to show off. They buy to position themselves. Don't live comparing. They live creating. Aren't afraid of loss. They have strategies to multiply. And most importantly, they live today as if their future self is watching. Ask yourself before every decision, does this bring me closer to who I want to be, or reinforce who I no longer want to be? Thinking like the rich is living in advance, shaping your reality before it arrives. It's knowing every move in the present molds the size of your freedom in the future. Now that you've eliminated the old character and installed the right code, here comes the most vital part: teaching your mind to work for you, not against you. Most people are servants to their own thoughts. They react, sabotage, and unknowingly push abundance away. But those who control their mind control the game. You already work hard. You run, hustle, try. But if your mind is locked in the old system, all that effort just becomes exhaustion. Your mind can be a factory, or a prison, a field of expansion, or a dome of fear. What makes the difference? It's the internal commands you repeat. Thoughts like, "This isn't for me. I don't deserve that much. Better save it, just in case." Those are orders and your brain follows them. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're actually sealing your own stagnation. Want to flip the game? Start programming expansive thoughts. How can this take me further? How does this align with my purpose? What would my future self do right? Now, thinking like the rich is silencing fear and amplifying construction. It's not about avoiding loss. It's about moving toward multiplication. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to stop letting your mind run on trauma autopilot. Think right, move right, harvest right. And those who harvest right live a life that doesn't need to be proved, just lived. Because in the end, wealth isn't about money. It's about the peace of knowing you're no longer self-sabotaging. Not inside, not outside. That is the real turning point. Now you understand. It's not your bank account that defines your freedom, it's the software running in your head. You may have already escaped financial poverty, but if you haven't escaped mental poverty, you will keep living like you're afraid to lose, even after winning. Today, you learned how to identify the scarcity virus, break the character that sabotages you, install the mindset of abundance, and program your mind to work for your future. If this woke something up in you, if any part of this video hit deep and freed you, then I ask for one thing. Show me this message makes sense. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, leave a comment below telling me what still needs to be reprogrammed inside of you. It's not just about engagement, it's about reinforcing what you've learned. It's about turning thoughts into transformation. I just gave you something valuable, and if that touched you, give something back, because those who start moving in the energy of exchange enter the flow of true abundance. This is only the beginning. The invisible wolf of wealth still has much to reveal, but for that, you need to be here with me, with those who are done surviving and ready to start living with intelligence. See you in the next video.